Hi Max. That pace from the Mercedes looked quite strong today. Had you got pole yesterday, do you think you'd have been able to hold them off in that race today, from what you saw?
Well, I mean, that's always easy to say that, right? Yeah.
In hindsight, yes.
If you would have done a faster lap time, then you would have had pole. Yeah.
But catching him, sitting behind him, what was your feeling today?
Well, I think the problem that we had was that in general today nothing really went smooth because I had a lot of issues with the shifts. So downshifting, upshifting, it was just really unpredictable. It made it really difficult to go into the corners. Then the balance of the car was also worse than I expected it to be. So also there I had to manage. And it basically was very difficult to just be consistent. I think the pace today, what was I think the strongest was again McLaren. Because on the hard tire, the gap pretty much stayed the same. With Mercedes, just the first stint, I was on the soft, everyone else on the medium, so I just had to manage my pace throughout the whole stint. But yeah, that's the problem when you start on the inside. There's no grip there. We measured quite a big difference left to right, so I had to start on the soft to at least not lose a position. But that also compromises your first stint, possibly a little bit also the second naturally. But that's how it is. I mean, yesterday I really tried to do everything I could. I felt good in the car. The laps were good, but Mercedes and George were flying as well, and they did a very good job all weekend.
We've heard the upshift or the shift issues before from you on the radio. Do the team know what's causing it? Is it anything that could be fixed this season, or is it inherent in this car?
I have it quite often, but this one was very bad today. I have no idea what happened there.
Going forward, the battle for second in the Constructors at least is still on. I know you want to get into this driver's title and are mathematically still in it. Do you feel like you're still in the driver's title battle, or from what you've seen today?
For that you need to win, you need to dominate. We're not doing that, or at least we were not doing that this weekend. So we're not catching up enough. For that you had to win today, and we didn't. That's how it is. I mean, we already lost way too many points in the beginning of the season. That's quite clear. But we just try to see it race by race. We try to do the best we can. This track is still not our favorite, I think, also for the car. But nevertheless, second, I think, is still a great result.
Can I just get a very brief word finally on the contact with Lando at the start and what happened at the start, from your opinion?
I have no idea. Did we touch?
I think so. I think he might have tapped into the back of you that then caused him to go across to Oscar. That's what I was trying to work out. So I didn't know if you were aware of it.
I have no idea.
I
didn't feel anything.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, though. Well done today.
Well, Laurent, it wasn't the win. Before we talk about Max's race, McLaren have won the Constructors, but you had the beating of them today.
Well, at first a big well done to them. We know what it takes to win the championships, and they had to fight for it, and a big well done needs to go to them today. It's their day. As far as we are concerned, we were quick enough to be to stay in contact with George and to hold the McLaren behind, but we tried everything we could with the start and soft to try to get that first position back. And then after, I think there was very little possibility to do more than what we've done today. So it's good to be second today. To be disappointed with second today is still a big testimony of how much progress has been done. And on a track like here, it gives us confidence that on most tracks we should be able to fight more than what we have been able to do.
And just help us understand. We didn't understand exactly what Max's issues were.
I think it was very tough for many drivers out there, and very difficult to get a nice car balance in these conditions. Starting on soft, also gave him quite a bit of tire degradations at the end of the first stint. But it was a risk. It was a risk to try to be more aggressive and to attack George. And then obviously we pitted very early. He pushed really hard, closed the gap on the hard, but at some stage probably had to deal with less fresh tires and opposition. So I think it's a combination of things, a lot of small things. But I'm sure that there is stuff that we will learn also from this race and hopefully make small steps.
Thank you very much.
Well, we didn't actually get any answers there on what was going on with the downshifts, but obviously that was the key frustration for Max today.
Yeah, I spoke to Max earlier, and he said that it's just very low grip, and he was, when he would brake into a corner, suddenly both fronts would lock up.
Yeah.
He said it was really weird, the circuit, but also the way the car was working.
Yeah, it seemed like the car just wasn't in a good place for him, to be honest. I think he says that, but he still is only 5 seconds off the lead. But he had a big block-up, which is unusual for Max, nearly race ending at one point. So he wasn't happy inside that car. You could hear the frustration. He maybe had some issues as well. So I think if you know that's when the car is like that, and maybe, I don't know if he used the word undrivable, but when he throws those words out there and he's 5 seconds off the lead at a track he's never won at, I think it's boding pretty well for the rest of the year.
It was probably undrivable for us, but not him.
I mean, amazing. Again, it just highlights how good he is. And he goes, oh, no. From making it 50-50, wasn't it, last time out at the end of Baku, he's sort of reneged a little bit on that. But, I suppose he's right. He's got to dominate week in, week out, and in the sprints as well, and probably win all 6 races and the 3.
I mean, he lapped his teammate.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's always a sign of, you're doing a pretty good job. But I don't know if it was maybe they just couldn't turn their front tyres on. There's no sun. It's a bit cool, possibly. Doesn't feel cool, but...
No, but they got just that second car again.
I know.
Yuki, another weekend where he was really nowhere.
I know, but it's weird because he kind of found form the last few races. And he didn't look so bad, I don't think, in Friday, but just qualifying. And then after that, it just compounds it. And it's interesting because when he does lap them, Lando and Max go past, and it's like they're in a different category. And Yuki will see that and see him fly past and think, how on earth am I meant to do that for 62 laps of a Grand Prix?
He did have a different front wing.
Yes.
There was only one of them, but I don't know if it made that much difference.
The snowplow, you mean, that one.
Snowplow,
that one. Straight up like that. OK, we're going to...
Oh, not to the end. It's been like that from lap 7 or lap 8 of the race. So I had to manage a lot. And for sure, there's some lap time in it. However, I don't want to blame it all in that because it's a track where everybody has to manage the brake to some extent. I think Lewis and I probably a lot more than the others, and we paid the price of it. And I think also the fact that maybe Lewis, obviously having more grip with the new tyres, was pushing more on the brakes, as it's always the case, and that puts him in a very difficult situation because when you have the grip and you see the P5, you try everything to get there, and but the brake couldn't handle that, and also on my side it's been tough.
Just to clarify, they were overheating. I know early on they said to you on the radio they were too hot, braking energies too hot.
I need to speak with the team, but I mean, surely they were too hot with this condition.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
In braking zones, 4 of those heavy. Has that ever happened to you?
No. Not in a race. I've had it in testing a lot of 23 years ago.
Yeah.
But not in a race. But no, it's... Normally you feel it as well, and the team know that they're getting a bit hot. But putting new tyres on the end, softs, it's always going to push them to their limits.
Any point on that? I mean, for Lewis, he's lucky towards the end there. He's using any means to get round, wasn't he, really? Cutting everything.
The worst feeling in the world. He lost a huge amount of lap time, but then cutting everything, I think that's where the penalty came from. So it's kind of double whammy. No brakes, just trying to get round, and then you get a penalty. So disaster, to be honest.
I'm amazed. 5 seconds? It doesn't sound like a lot for the amount of apexes that he didn't... Well, the amount of corners he didn't go around.
Go where you want. Why not? Here's Fernando Alonso.
I'm glad you're smiling, Fernando, because we know there was some angry radio at the end. So just tell me, I know you saw Lewis had the brake issue at the end, and you weren't happy with what you saw.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those moments for 1/10 of a second. I think I didn't get the position, but still, I think... let's see what happens at the end of the day, if we are P7 or P8. But nevertheless, I think it was a very good afternoon for us. So evening, the car performed really well. We were fast on the soft, and then on the medium, I think the people fitted the hard. We fitted the medium in the second stint, and that was a very good call from the team because I had an advantage on the tire grip, and I could make some moves. So P8 I think is the maximum, and I'm happy with the result.
You didn't get a trophy for hero of the race, but you have got driver of the day. Will that do?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm never normally driver of the day because when you are not in the podium or something like that, you are anonymous normally on TV. So I'm glad if I got it. But we had some fights. Some of them probably unnecessary. We lost a lot of time. But this is a street circuit, Singapore, so it's normal to fight hard.
Any of the fights in particular you mentioned? I mean, we saw the battle with Isaac, but it's just a case of the circuit.
No, I mean,
here,
they were all clean, all good, and hard racing, but as it should be here in Singapore.
Great job today, brother. Thanks.
driver of the day, and I think what we're hoping for 2026 is, you're saying, usually driving around in the midfield, I'm anonymous. We don't want to see an anonymous Fernando Alonso next year. We want to see him racing for the big points and the podiums or the wins, don't we?
Yeah, he's 44 years old, but he's still as fiery as when he was 20 years old, which is awesome. This is his world, this is his life, racing in Formula 1 cars. I know because I was his teammate for a couple of years, but yeah, I hope that they're competitive next year so he can really take
against George Max.
We won't be able to say.
It's hard to tell, but I don't think he has. When you look at the speed he had, say, on Friday in practice, at around a track like this, it's hard to think that he has lost any speed. So it will be exciting if they have a car to compete next year.
OK, let's finish. All 4 Brits inside the top 10. Ollie Behrman in 9th.
Points, Ollie. You must be
Finally.
really happy with that performance today.
Yeah, really, really happy. At one stage it was looking really, really good, you know, with inheriting P8 from Fernando's slow stop. But he was a bit quicker today. You know, he was on the medium, which on my car didn't feel great, but clearly had very good pace on it. I just got a bit caught up, stuck behind Carlos for a very long time. You know, he was yet to stop, and I was definitely much quicker, but I was just eating up my tires behind him and unable to overtake. I think ultimately that's the reason that I lost the position to Fernando. I don't know if without Carlos, if I was able to overtake him, that I would be able to keep Fernando at bay, but yeah, I'm still happy to be P9 at the end of everything.
Was there much from the damage from the contact with Isaac at the start at all?
Honestly, I didn't check the car after the race. I was more focused on getting undressed and cooling down. So no, the car felt good. First stint, I struggled a lot, and that has been a bit the case in a few races. Tough to get the rhythm. You know, I didn't manage to do a long run properly during the weekend. So also for myself, I'm kind of learning what the car is doing in heavy fuel. So, you know, that probably didn't help our race, and it's a shame about 10-1 as well. I need to review what went wrong there.
Thanks, Ollie.
Thanks.
Well done today.
Well done, Ollie. And there we go. Lando finishing with a podium as close to within 22 points. As I mentioned, and I've said it, he's just going to the photo, but the Constructors' Champions back-to-back for the first time since that stretch, 1988 to 1991. Obviously huge for them. Where do you think we are? Where does this leave the championship after that move? Oscar also making his way out there, but as we know, probably will be the lesser happy of the two this evening.
He will be. He doesn't actually. I just saw him sort of in the background smiling. I think he probably has watched it back as well and will think exactly what Jensen said earlier. That was annoying, frustrating, but I get it. And I think the sort of levelness in him will probably think that. That said, I think it's game on now for the rest of the year. The gloves are off. They've won the Constructors. If there's another wheel-to-wheel opportunity and it's going to get close, there's not going to be either of them backing out, which is exciting.
He's got to park it when you've just won the Constructors. He's got to park it for the evening anyway, no matter how you feel.
You have. But, you know, for Lando, this is quite a big deal. You know, he took points out of Oscar at the last race. And that move at turn 3 was, I think, in the mental game, it was more important than 3 points. I think that's a big deal. He would have been very happy coming out of that. And as you saw when he was on the podium, he's third. They're used to winning races, fighting for wins, but he's third, and he seemed happy because he took 3 points off of his teammate, and also he overtook him to do that.
As we enjoy these images, what does this mean to everybody at McLaren? I mean, I'm just going to come back to you on this one, Jensen, because they had to wait so long between, and now to get it back to back. And when we talk to Andrea, it's just the way that they managed to turn it around so quickly within this set of regulations to come strong towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at this team 15 years ago when I was there initially, we were winning races, fighting for world championships, and it kept tailing off every year until sort of 2016, 2017.
I know.
And then we saw glimpses that were coming back, and then it fell away again. But the last 2 years, yeah, this means a lot to this team, and I think the big change in, obviously, leadership in Zach, but also the leadership in Andrea has had a really positive impact on this team. So I'm really proud of these guys, and I'm so happy that they've had back-to-back championships.
It's phenomenal. I think back to only a few years ago, they didn't have a single sponsor on the car. You know, they were driving around at the back. They had Fernando calling their engine, I won't say what, but now look at them. They're the team to beat in every sense. They're commercially one of the best teams, sporting-wise one of the best teams. Everything about them is the team to beat on this grid, and I think that's such an incredible turnaround for them in such a short space of time.
Really is, as you're saying, when that commercial flywheel that Zach Brown got turning secures 54 sponsors, and they go from that grey car that they had, as you were saying, that was bereft of sponsors, that JB towards the end of his time with McLaren was having to drive, and now you see this after the rebrand into Papaya. They have turned it round, and as the champagne flows and the confetti flies and they celebrate long into the night, we say congratulations to McLaren, who've made it back-to-back Constructors' champions. We'll see you in Austin in a fortnight's time. From us all here, bye for now.